kind of divide, I mean, there are different types of guards and everything, but I think you can kind of generally split guards up into two different categories. One would be what I call a static guard, and the other would be what I call a dynamic guard. So, change. So, like if we're in closed guard, all I have to do is hold this to stay in closed guard. Okay, and this is what I mean when I say a static guard, because I'm static. I'm not trying to do a bunch of motions and everything to hold the guard. I don't need to exert pressure on him or anything. I just keep my feet closed. I'm in the closed guard. I am static. The same is true for half guard. If we're in half guard, okay, once I get this, all I have to do is hold this, and now I'm staying in closed guard, okay? And I'm forcing him to move to get out of my closed guard, or my half guard, sorry, my half guard. So, and again, this is what I would call a static guard. But if I'm like in, stand up. If I'm in something like a De La Riva, for example, this isn't a static guard, because if I just hold this and don't do any, yeah, he just pops out, okay? I've got to constantly keep pressure on him in order to keep this guard. If I don't keep pressure on him, he can get out of the guard very easily. I have to be active here, and that's what I mean when I say it's a dynamic guard. It's not a guard where I can't just sit here and do nothing and expect for him to stay in my guard. I have to be active and dynamic to keep him in my guard. So, and because of that, we need kind of a different solution for both kinds of guards. Because in the static kind of guards, you have to be very active and you have to be very stable at the same time, because all he has to do is just keep his legs closed. You stay in this half guard. You don't get out, okay? With like De La Riva, again, if we're like De La Riva, if he doesn't move, no pressure, just stay where you are. I'm out of the De La Riva, okay? That's all I have to do, okay? Half guard though. If he gets a nice tight half guard, no issue, just like clamp on, death grip on my leg, okay? Okay, I'm not getting out of the half guard with a simple motion now, okay? I have to, and this is important because this opens up opportunities for him. Because if I'm just doing this, now he can get his underhook, yeah, now he can start wrestling up, exactly. Now he gets his sweeps, okay? So, and that's gonna dictate how we have to act, okay? So when we're passing half guard, I've referred to this before in terms of, I use the term pin passing, because when we're passing half guard, we want to make sure we have a pin on our opponent. So, be that like a weave pin, or chest on chest, or something, I need to pin him so that he can't keep moving and getting out of my and getting sweeps on while in the half guard, okay? So, and we started off with like our sort of coming here into the cradle pass, and then we started going here, and he doesn't want the cradle pass, so he moves his head away, and we can use that to go chest on chest, and things like that. So I want to start going now, and what if he starts getting things he wants, okay? So we're gonna come over here. So let's say we're going with our standard cradle attack, but as we're going in for the cradle, he gets an underhook. Yeah, this is going to kind of screw a couple of things up for me, okay? First of all, for the cradle pass, I need to get my head on his chest to sprawl. And if his arm's here, I can't do that now. His arm is blocking my path. Okay? So this is automatically my first problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to start being mean. What I want to do first is we're in this position, okay? I want to pull my arm through. I think Jan kind of knows what's coming. And I want to come here on his tricep. Okay? And from here, what I'm going to do is push the arm down, and I'm going to start going in for an anaconda. Okay? So that's going to be our first sort of attack, is to go in for that anaconda. I am going to say you're most likely not going to get this. This is again, like the cradle pass, it's low percentage, not because it's not effective, it's low percentage because most people know how to counter it. But we want their counter, okay? Because this is, again, I've mentioned it before, this is like the boxer's jab. In boxing, you almost never knock someone out with a jab. It can happen, but it's very unlikely, and it's most likely because the guy did something really stupid and just walked into your jab. Okay, but you're using the jab to open up the bigger shots that do knock the guy out. And it's the same idea here. It's just like I mentioned this before with the cradle pass. No, not yet. I cradle pass. If I get the cradle pass, great. Just like if I knock him out with a jab, not going to complain. But my idea is I want to open him up so that I can get past knee shield and go chest on chest. And this is my big shot. This is my uppercut in half guard passing. And it's the same sort of thing here. If he gets this underhook, I come here, okay, I start shooting through for an anaconda, and I'm not wanting the anaconda necessarily. This is again my jab, because if I'm here, he's going to, about here, he knows what's happening. Do what you would instinctively do to avoid the anaconda. No, don't talk, just do what you would naturally do to get out of the anaconda. And you see, first of all, he's opened his legs. Now I'm out. Okay? Keep that deadlift on my legs and just try to do what you would naturally do to avoid giving me this anaconda. And again, you see, now you're losing your underhook. And now you've given me a darce. Okay?
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, the best thing for you to do, you do it to me. Okay, I get my underhook. You come to the anaconda.
Here.
And
now you just try it.
Yeah.
Go for that.
No. If you go for the anaconda, my best option is to pull my head out and look what's happening now. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm coming here. I'm gonna pull my head out, and you go chest on chest. Yeah, and now you can leave your underhook. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So first, we're just going to practice going for the anaconda, just because the anaconda has to be real. He has to feel like it's at the very least going to be unpleasant, and he wants to get his head out. Yeah, which you can attest. It is, even if it's not a real good choke, it's not nice on the neck.
It's like this.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the first thing we're going to do. And then once that gets down, if we have time before sparring, we're going to try to go to chest on chest. I don't think we're going to have time for that today, so we'll start with that next on the weekend, okay? So, but first just half guard to anaconda. So again, I'm here, he gets his underhook. The first thing I want to do is get this part here. The good thing is he can't keep his head away from me and get this underhook at the same time. So, if you get the underhook, your head's going to be close enough for me to get this cradle. The two, because the one has to go off the other, okay? So, if I can tell, I pull my arm through, go onto the tricep, and just grab. Okay, from here, I grab my own bicep, come here, and even if I don't use my leg, again, this is just unpleasant as hell, isn't it, Jan? Okay? So, we're just going to practice that. Then we're going to go to using that to go into a chest on chest pass. Okay? So we had our basic attack. So he comes here, shallow underhook right now. I break him down, shift my arm forward, front long arm, and I come into this sort of weak anaconda. The thing is this is really uncomfortable, and he's normally going to try and get his head out when I start doing this. So, and we're going to basically kind of rely on this reaction. So, as I'm coming in, and I start to break him down, and come into the anaconda, yeah, exactly. And I'm going to use that to get on my chest on chest. Huh?
I think you have to turn.
I'm going to do one more. Okay, so I use that to get on my chest on chest, okay? So he still has an underhook, but it's very shallow right now. And from here, the very next, as soon as possible, what I want to do is take this hand, pummel it in here, and now I've got the underhook and I'm on my chest on chest. And from from here, now we can start doing our chest on chest half guard passes. So the arm triangle pass, the knee cut pass, doesn't matter which one, but the point is we want to hit. Our goal in the end for this was basically to get it on chest, and then we can start doing our chest on chest half guard passes from here. Okay? So that's kind of the whole point when we're passing half guard. There are tons of different ways to pass half guard, but the most reliable is to get that chest on chest pin, because that keeps him from being able to shrimp out, it keeps him from being able to frame and everything, and you've got him in a very good tight position, and then you can really start building pressure and methodically build up your pass. So chest on chest is, again, kind of a constant topic. It's going to be our goal here. Okay? So, going over again. So, here, come into this position, I start with the anaconda, he comes out, and what I want to do is I want to come here, and really important, I don't want to be up here already, okay, because now he's got an underhook, now he can start building passes and exactly doing what he just did, yeah. When I come to chest and chest, I want my arm here, down on his hips. He still has the underhook, but is very weak. Try this with me.
Yeah, no pressure.
Yeah, exactly. It's very weak, and I have this space here that I can use to pummel my own arm in for my underhook. Okay, and now yeah, go ahead and try it. Because when we're here, I can now use my head to block him repummeling the underhook. Okay, and I can work up till I get to my nice, solid chest on chest position. Okay, we spent a long time on how to stand in this position. I'm not going to repeat everything. Really important though is I want to be with this foot like this, not like this. Now, yeah, exactly. Now I can roll me over. If I have this foot bent at a 90-degree angle, try it. I can use that to exert pressure against it. Okay? So, give me a second. Fix my hair. I'll show that one more time, and then we'll work on that. Really important is that underhook's arm goes down to the hips. Okay? You don't get greedy and immediately try to go to your pass position. First, just get chest on chest and pin that arm under his hips so you can pummel the underhook. Then you start to pass. Okay? So, again, we come into our cradle position. We just have to pull my arm through. He pulls his head out. I come up. And I come here. Okay? My arm is here on his hips. Okay? Let's move a bit closer to the camera. We're really far away. Okay. Okay, so our position, we're like this, okay? So I've got my hand here, and this, I have a nice space. I can start pummeling in my arm. Now I come and pin those shoulders on the ground. From here, I can start my passes. Okay, which of the half guard passes you hang on to that, you can, from my point of view, freely choose. It's always good to have more than one option, but the important point, you want that chest on chest pin. That's the important point that we're trying to get in here, okay? So let's work on that. Okay, so we were doing now, the last pass we were doing is with the assumption that we catch his underhook fairly early and he just gets like the hand in or something, and we can use that to pass. Now we're going to assume that he is a lot faster and a lot better at half guard than we were expecting, and he gets a nice deep underhook. Yeah, exactly. He gets up in here. This is a shit position for us. He's about to start going into wrestle ups. I need to get him back on his back fast. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do something I call it the front headlock pass. So yeah, you can keep your, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So what I'm going to do is take my hand in here, flip it around, and lock up a front headlock. Okay? This is automatically, you can try to wrestle like that. Okay, this is automatically giving me some protection against the wrestle up, and I'm going to use this to exert my weight on his body and pin him back to the ground. And then we're going to go into this position that we should know from our other half guard situation. Okay? My foot is to the side. If he tries to get up and sweep me,
I've got a base, okay? And now, from here, I'm going to keep my front headlock. Let's move this way so that it's on camera. So I've got a nice tight front headlock, and I've got him nice and pinned. And really, I'm trying to exert as much force on his head right now. I'm trying to make this nice and uncomfortable for him. And now, like what we did with the arm triangle pass, with this foot, I'm going to walk his hips forward so that we can get here, and I can get my knee free. Now I can pass directly to mount. I've been able to do this pass more than once on Christian, who, if you've rolled with him, he's really good at half guard. If he gets that underhook, I will immediately go to this, pin him back down, and then he's kind of dead. He kind of has to wait on me because you got him in a really good position from there. Okay? So, again, worst case scenario, he comes up, he gets his nice big underhook. I've got to do something because I'm about to get swept. This hand comes in between us, and I snake it around, and I lock up my front headlock. I'm grabbing like this. My underhook arm, or in this case, my overhook arm, is grabbing my own wrist, and that makes this nice and tight. Okay, how's that feel for you, Jan? Yeah, exactly. And from here, I go forward with my chest, and I pin him down. The upside to this deep underhook is we don't have to beat the knee shield anymore. Okay? And I don't want to be on him like this, because now you can probably sweep me now, can't you? Yeah, exactly. I don't want to be chest on chest like this, because now I don't have as good a base in this direction. He can roll over and sweep me. I want to have... I just want to move back a bit so that we get in camera. Yeah, okay. What I want to have is his back flat on the ground and my body sort of lying on its side on him. Okay? Now I can use my head to post in this direction if he tries to sweep me in that direction. Okay? Yeah, exactly. Now I've got a good base. And the cool thing is, as you saw, he has to start moving his legs a lot if he's going to sweep me. So now I can just start using that to help my pass. So if he's starting to sweep me really wild, I can use that to free my leg. Okay? So, and if he's just locking up the half guard death grip, I walk my legs forward, and I want to get this knee as close to the ground. I want to get... No, I'm trying to keep us in camera, man. Okay? So I want to get this knee as close to the ground as I can, and now I can just make a small motion and free my knee. Now I can pummel the other foot in and pass. Would you like to see it?
Oh, yeah.